Department. They've been able to take it down pretty quickly. Earlier, there was some police officers, gun in hands, thinking that there were still some looters inside, but they broke the door. If you can show that door over there, Alan, where they had broken the door and gotten in. And here is still some of the loot. Right before me, Alan, right over here. Some of these are dresses. These are dresses. Their box is full. You can see they're using pulleys or dollies to take out all of this stuff.
It numbs the senses after a while. There's so many fires burning out of control.
And that's in 10 minutes now.
Okay, now, Stan, your location, you're over Hollywood Boulevard once again.
Right, Al, we're over Hollywood Boulevard, and we see the fire billowing here on that story, that building next to the Fredericks location. Very interesting. Jan, I think you and I both picked up that fire that seemed to be going into the building next to that fire up on the boulevard.
Before and after, when you look at what we're looking at right now in Southern California, it's something that's pretty close akin to that. An update now on some of the late-breaking information that's coming in to us. Henry mentioned the Guard. 4,000 National Guard troops are now in the streets, but they and the police seem to be having little effect on the looting and the Holocaust. As many as 40 fires burning as the sun begins to go down. At least 6 new major fires blazing, ringing the downtown area. You're looking at least 2 or 3 of them right now.
We have Los Angeles City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas with us, and we welcome you to the studio. Mr. Thomas, thank you very much for joining us. We watched you last night at the rally at First AME Church, and we watched as the people at the church gradually became aware of what was happening, and our sense is that it's just been increasing in size and scope and violence as the last 24 hours has worn on.
I share that view.
Los Angeles Basin area. I'm at the airport, and the reason I am is because of the enormous amount of delays that smoke has been causing. Southwest Airlines simply, it was just inside the terminal, they announced that half of their flights have been canceled for tonight. The other half are delayed at least by an hour. Other airlines as well are announcing enormous delays, and this is the reason why. The city is simply under siege. We have a city that has been aflame for all day and all night, of course. And in my drive over here from South Central Los Angeles, we simply noticed dozens and dozens of buildings, businesses, either looted or vandalized or burned in some way. It is simply amazing. I stand in awe and amazement over what has been taking place throughout the city. And of course, as you've witnessed and as we've been able to witness all day and all night, the destruction that has taken place is simply enormous. Something that should be mentioned here, since I am at the airport, Jesse Jackson, as well as Maxine Waters, they will be arriving, I understand, on a flight from United at 7:45. We will be waiting for them and obviously try and get their reaction, their political reaction to this whole event which is taking place. Reporting live from
Western Avenue, suspected looters are on the ground. Police have drawn guns, and it was a little hairy here because there was a crowd behind the officers, behind this camera position here that were taunting police, and some of the police, frankly, one officer looked very nervous, and he had a gun out. It's nobody you see in this picture here, but one officer, finally, some others came up to him and said, "Why don't you just back away over here a little bit?" There was no shooting, and there didn't appear to be any beating either. There were arrests and people taken away.
There was supposed to be a reason for them to pull those guns.
Well, there was. There were a lot of people around, and there were a lot of anxious officers, and finally they told us, look, you guys out. You guys and the rest of them.
Everybody's nervous today. It's not just the police who are nervous. When the thing goes on for 24 hours and it shows no signs of quieting down, I think it makes everybody a little anxious, don't you?
Well, definitely the firefighters. Fire Chief Manning this morning said that they were attacked with everything from axes to guns.
Yes.
During the night and during the day. Here's the National Guard finally appearing. This is right across the street, basically, from the Coliseum, a mini mall at Vermont and Martin Luther King. And these people here are members of the 40th Division Military Police. You can hear sirens everywhere, sirens in the background. It was a constant soundtrack, like Muzak to the day, that and fires going. Vehicles like right out of Kuwait City.
Or Beirut, as Paul said earlier.
Yeah, well,
name a war. Vietnam.
Yeah.
Well, with this thing, Humvee, this is straight out of Desert Storm. It probably came back from there. You're also going to see next a woman who owned a franchise chicken restaurant. She was delighted to see the National Guard, but their arrival came too late for her business.
This one is a legitimate one. Captain Ron, what are we looking at here? Do you know where we are?
Okay, where we are at this point, Ann, is La Brea between Olympic and Orange, and just in this area I can count about 6 fires. We're looking at two of the 3 major fires that is burning in this area. This is absolutely unbelievable. Earlier you were watching pictures of us as we flew eastbound into downtown Los Angeles. The smoke is so heavy out there towards the Civic Center, visibility went down to about 1 mile. This smoke, as it gets towards the Civic Center, begins lowering, and it actually goes directly down on to the surface, and extremely tough in terms of flying. I have to keep really alert for all the other aircraft out here. I'm going to move northbound now to the one up here towards Orange. You'll get an idea of what this one looks like. This smoke is really becoming very thick out here. Ann, back to you.
Compare it to what it was like last night. Last night we knew that the smoke was a problem, but it's more of a problem tonight, I understand.
This is the activation of the emergency broadcast system for LA County. Effective at 6:45 p.m. this date, the Los Angeles County Emergency Operations Center has announced expanded boundaries for the emergency curfew. These areas are bounded by the Long Beach Freeway on the east, Santa Ana and Santa Monica freeways on the north, the Long Beach the San Diego Freeway to Crenshaw Boulevard, and then Crenshaw Boulevard south to Lomita Boulevard on the west. This is not a test. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is now in full mobilization. All off-duty sheriff's deputies are directed to contact their unit of assignment as soon as possible or contact the nearest Los Angeles County Sheriff's facility. Due to the escalation of the situation and seriousness of the problems that are occurring, the sheriff has mobilized all department personnel.
down the street from me, which is weird because we're talking about Los Angeles. So they're living in the valley, but you know, the ICR was initially stood for Inner City Rebels. For Mike, it was CR, Civilized Revolution. And Mike was, like I said, the Black Panther type. He had a door knocker, nice, beautiful brass door knocker. I mean, during Christmas, it had the nicest Christmas lights in the street. We had Christmas trees. Everyone cooked Thanksgiving dinner. You would never guess that it was like what I'm describing to you. And it really was a conglomeration of people, mainly, some were just, I mean, one of them was becoming a lawyer. The other guy was a sniper, actually, in the Israeli military, but now he was in the U.S. He was going to get married, Ziggy. And most of the guys, including me, were all ex-guys that had gotten out of the gang life. They weren't really about that anymore. So they were all in different gangs, which may have even been rivals before. In fact, I remember talking to Sung the first time and being like, yeah, this time we got jumped by CC1. And he's in that gang. He doesn't remember the incident. So I'm telling stories about like fights with gangs that these guys were in those gangs. But now everyone's kind of like, well, you know, we don't have girlfriends. We're not married. We just like to party. And, you know, we need to make money. But we're not into gangbanging anymore because we're all in our late 20s. Fast forward it now, and I didn't realize the situation. I found out later on. But you cannot join the ICR, and there's only about maybe 20 or 30 active members at a time. There's about 100 people that hang out with us that claim ICR, and they can claim it, that's fine. But actual members of ICR, like to actually be able to say, I'm a member of ICR, I'm a ranking person in ICR, like you got to get touched, and they have to come to you. You can't, if you ask to join, and it never occurred to me. I wasn't going to ask to join. I thought they were a gang. And you can never join. And so there was a lot of guys like Ice Cube's brother or cousin, Obsess, asked to join. We couldn't join. Why? Because you can't ask. You got to do something. And I don't know what it was that they saw, but there was a couple times where Don acted like Don with no one else around, and they observed that. And they watch you do shit. And there are little tests that I guess they do. I mean, it wasn't that serious. But like I remember, Carlos got in trouble. We never carried guns. And we would say, because, you know, they're magnets for cops. And also, we're going to get drunk and use them on the wrong person, probably ourselves. I mean, so there was, my whole depression thing was really, it went very congruently with what Carlos and Mike were going through. You know, they were down with that. They knew I wasn't about like, boo-hoo, life sucks. I was like, drive the wrong way on the freeway guy. Drink alcohol all day. Depression. Sucks. The world, fuck the world. So when they came to me and they asked me, do you want to be an ICR? Now, I met them through Eddie. I've been working with Eddie for 8 years. And they said to me, well, you know, we asked Eddie about you, and he's talking shit. So now they're turning against Eddie. I thought that was weird. Like, I didn't understand it. Yeah, but that's work shit. They were talking about the ICR as a family. And he was like, yeah, we don't think he should be an ICR. I don't think he should be an ICR and this and that. So they've got Eddie strung along thinking he should be an ICR. That caused a problem later. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I didn't really realize what it meant and what I was becoming a part of. Well, you know, I guess I'm getting too close to them. Like, we didn't tell Eddie, quote unquote. There was no announcement made. Don is now a member, an active, you know, member of ICR. The way it happened was this. Another big party at another house above a tattoo shop on Ventura Boulevard. And Eddie now, acting like the knucklehead he is, which is why he wasn't allowed in ICR, or wasn't touched to be an ICR, goes, oh, we've got so-and-so and so-and-so here. It's a couple other guys we work with. And Don, they think they're an ICR now. Hey, let's jump him in. See, he thinks he's an ICR. Now, I'm thinking this is real. So he's like, yeah, let's jump these guys in, man. Let's fuck them up tonight so they can finally be an ICR. Like, he didn't get it yet. He didn't get it. We're like, you know, like all these guys are really pretty hardcore guys. Eddie never gangbanged, you know what I mean? He knew a lot of people, but he was more of a Hollywood type than he was a gangbanger. And so they have 3 of us. One of them's Brian, the DJ for Eddie. The other guy, I forgot who he was, he just hangs out with ICR. Now, I had already talked to Mike and Pure. So I knew I was in ICR already, kind of like without having to get jumped in or whatever. And so basically everyone's like, you know, rooting and hooting. And everyone else at ICR is there, the girls, the guys. And I'm in the middle of this circle, and I'm in the middle of these 2 guys, and we're about to get stomped out. And I'm drunk, so I'm like, you know, whatever. I was in my crazy age, where I'm like, you know, if I get beat down, whatever, I get a beat down. But these guys are going to fuck me up bad. They begin to rush us. I'm ready for the beatdown. And they begin to start beating the living crap out of the guy to the right of me and to the guy to the left of me. And probably never once even bumped into me. And I'm standing there like, okay, what's going on? Like, but I could feel it was so clear that no one targeted me that, like, I wasn't gonna back out. I mean, I moved out of the way a little bit, but, like, I wasn't worried someone was gonna come from behind. I mean, they were stomping these guys out. They stomped them the fuck out, and they're not enemies of them, but they're not in ICR. And so, like, they had to leave the party. They had to go to the hospital and shit. And Mike comes up and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, and he was kind of insulting Eddie, because Eddie kept thinking he was an ICR, like we're gonna jump people in, like we're a Mexican gang, like we're MS-13 or some bullshit crew, like we hadn't been through that already, which is exactly what was going through my mind. And he goes, you know, we don't jump fucking our friends. Like, if you haven't been through shit, we know you're ready to die for us. We don't need to practice on each other. Those two are not in ICR. You are in ICR. And I could tell by the way people's reaction that they could tell the same thing. That because they didn't touch Don, oh, Don's the new member. But Eddie, not knowing what's going on, is like, yeah, you didn't even touch Don. What the fuck, dude? It's because they don't fight their friends. We save that for fighting for our friends. We don't just jump people in because you saw a movie. And I thought that was really just an interesting philosophy. Like, we already know we're badasses. We already know we run shit. We don't need to jump people in because we don't include many people in. But if you want us to do something like that, Eddie, like, it just came as a whim. Okay, fine. So they beat down his other two friends, poor guys, who thought they were going to get to be in ICR, which is not going to happen. And now you're finding out that the guy that worked for you, that you said you don't think wants to be in ICR, that you are not in ICR, and now Don is an active member. And even though I still worked for Eddie, I never heard the end of it after that. I mean, it was like, dude, you know, I introduced you to them and this and that, and like, one night he tried to get all crazy with me and be like, yeah, you got to learn how to take a punch if you're in ICR. And he punched me in the head, you know. And I'm taking it because I don't quite understand exactly all the politics. And when the guys found out about that, they're like, dude, see, fuck that guy. And like I said, he talks too much shit, and he got into a fight with the wrong guy at an ICR party. And you don't do this at the ICR house, but you know, the guy he did win the fight. He did win the fight, but then after the fight got lost by the guy, he runs over with a big blade and he stabs Eddie in the back of the neck, and in the back, and he almost kills him. And I'm out, passed out at the time, my girlfriend's car. Nicole, hold on. And it was like 3 in the morning, and I heard all this commotion. I didn't know what was going on. But of course, it was a weird deal because we had to back him up like he was in ICR. And I remember Mike coming out with a butcher knife, and he's like, you know, to so-and-so, because I wasn't allowed to tell who. The way they handled it was basically, they did not call the police. We had to take him to an emergency room, obviously. No one would. I didn't understand that. And so one of the guys in ICR, who has like the nicest car, we take him in there, just blood all over me, just blood all over us. Nobody was doing shit. But you don't do that at our house, because now it's going to bring heat on the house. And they basically dropped me off with Eddie at Northridge emergency room, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, dude, you got to be the one who stays. Why? Because you don't have any warrants for wants. And don't tell them who did it. Don't tell them where the house was. Just be like, yeah, you know. I'm like, what the fuck? But I was good for that. But Nicole stayed with me. I remember that. And she's like, we get him in there, and he's like totally bleeding. They come out, they assist him, etc., etc. And she's like scrubbing. I'll never forget that. That was kind of the more surreal moment of that violence. Was having this blood all over me that reeked of tequila. I remember the blood reeked of tequila. And I could not get the blood off my hands. So she had like a Comet. We're in like the nurse's restroom. And she has this like steel wool scrubber that she's trying to scrub the blood off of all my hands and shit like that. Now the police are on their way because obviously the hospital called the police. And I just can't get the blood off my hands. That doesn't sound right. But they start asking me all these questions about, I go, dude, I don't know. I'm like, I got a flyer on my car at Pierce College and this and that. And like, we show you a map, tell us where the house is. And they showed me a map, and amazingly, I didn't have to lie because the house was, for some reason, it's a popular street, was not even on the map. I showed them the basic area. I go, it's right near the McDonald's, because there was a McDonald's on the street. I go, man, it's not on here, man. I swear to God, it's not on here. And it wasn't on there. which is really weird. That God moment. Now, you would think, well, why wouldn't you tell the police? Why wouldn't you do this and that? Well, the guy who did it, it's been 25 years, but it's 30 years. His father runs all of the Auto Trader magazines, the Recycler magazines, et cetera, et cetera. They were millionaires. It's just his son was a punk. And that crew that he was in, which I don't even know if it was a crew, they always ended up being like fucking real snipers with us. So it really didn't surprise me that they were upset that they lost the fight to Eddie, who's not really an ICR, but we do back Eddie up. Eddie's a shit talker. I mean, everyone knew. I mean, it sounds weird for friends to say that, but like he had it coming to him. He didn't die. And basically, we tracked down where Medrano went, or the guy who did it, and he had gone to Vegas because one of our friends, basically his father was a private detective, and you could trace credit card charges. So we knew where he was staying, and basically we got in contact with the family, and we're like, look, we can turn him into the cops. They're looking for him for attempted murder. He didn't die. Or we're going to kill him. Or you can pay for the hospital bill. You can buy my friend a new car, and you can kick him down some cash, and your son will be allowed back into Los Angeles. And I mean, I wasn't there for negotiations. I don't even know how it went. I don't even think Eddie handled it. But next thing I know, Eddie's driving a brand new Ford Explorer, and he's got money, he's healthy, and that was the end of that. And I don't think we ever saw the guy again, but I knew he was back in town because I had a girlfriend who knew him, and he just didn't hang around our section. And that was what I think was said, was just keep him away from us. We promise you, we're not going to touch him. And we keep our words like that. But that's why they didn't want me telling the cops about it. Why? Because, you can make some money out of this. Nothing's going to happen if the guy goes to jail. Eddie might not even get his hospital bills paid. And they were like really high. He didn't have insurance. He's almost dead. And so basically they were brilliant to think of that because they knew that the parents were rich and the parents wanted their son back in town. He couldn't come. He was scared to death to come back into L.A. And finally we let him back into L.A. and because the parents just, we didn't ask for an excessive amount of money. Your son's going to stay out of jail. We're never going to tell the cops. And he's allowed to come home for Christmas. But, we're not being dicks. We know you have the money. And I mean, it wasn't handled like blackmail because we should have called the cops. It was handled like, look, no, let's not call insurance on this car accident. How do you want to handle this? And the parents were more than happy to do it that way. And Eddie was happy to do it that way once he recovered. And, that's just the way it went. That's the way a typical average night and party went with ICR. He started learning a lot of ways of the craft.
Jero pulled a shotgun on us once at the MYL meeting.
Jero did?
Yeah, I was trying to, yeah.
What's NYL?
That was before
the whole ICR, AWR link up, right?
Yeah.
That was like that. There was
pre that.
Remember that whole thing? Remember there was like this weird thing where we just the two crews just connected?
Yeah.
And then now we're one crew. It was what the fuck was that? That was
I got some gnarly stories.
I know you do, dude.
And I don't know if we should get into some of them because it might implicate some people into some bad things.
We can't snitch on anybody. And I'm almost can I talk freely about shit?
What can we talk freely? That's why we're a little
No, we can talk about anything. We just can't say names. We can't paint any crimes on anybody.
But we don't want to paint such a bad picture.
It's not a bad picture.
That we did.
It wasn't a bad picture, but it was. But listen, it was part of the deal. There was a crime. There was a criminal element. Not as bad as some. We weren't driving around shooting people. But there was an element.
Well, who are you? Depends on who you're talking to.
Okay, some people were.
I mean,
you and I were not.
No, but I saw some things, and
I know you saw a lot of shit. You saw a lot. There's so many things. Listen. This is perfect.
I had a drive-by at my house in Thousand Oaks that made the front page news, and that was ICR meets old crew in 805. And I threw a party, and Casey and everyone else found out about it and drove to 805 with ICR and in the living room in 805. And then all of a sudden I heard all this ruckus, and then Casey and ICR were beating the fuck out of my old friends.
Wait, it was guys from your old crew who had beef with ICR.
They didn't even know what ICR was. They were 805. This was the one link with Bless and I.
Wait,
and our weird little crew.
That crew was what was that?
It was called JR23 or some weird shit. I don't even remember what it stood for.
And why were they beefing with ICR?
They didn't. They just showed up to my house.
Who, the crew did?
Well, the crew and Casey and them showed up to the house,
Right.
finding out that my parents were out of town.
They're like, hey, fool, Shaver's parents are out of town.
Yeah. This fool is, hey, go to, we're going at 8:05 tonight. Let's go, everyone go.
Right.
So all these maniacs showed up to my house that I looked up to, so I couldn't say no to any of these guys.
But you're already in the crew at this point, right?
Not yet.
Oh, this is before. Really?
Yeah, it was like right then. It was like right when I had to make.
But
a decision.
Casey was already hanging out with them before you got in.
Yeah, 'cause he knew ICR. He knew.
Oh, okay. Weird. I guess
Yeah.
my timeline might be fucked up too. One of us has got a foggy timeline, and I could be just.
Well,
as
we both
guilty.
have reasons why we have foggy timelines.
True.
So I heard all this ruckus.
Yeah.
And they were just beating the fuck out of these kids.
Yeah.
So I tried to separate it, and then they ran off, and then an hour later came back, and then jumped out their car and just started shooting at my house. And shot Keen in the foot.
Oh, that's right. I remember
And then Keen got shot in the foot, but he had steel toes on, so it bounced off his foot and like broke his toe. So of course this is 8:05. So every single sheriff and fucking cop was at my house within 2 minutes, including the news. So they had to sort all this shit out, and then.
But Keen wasn't from ICR at that point, right?
Yeah, he was like, I guess, I don't know, UFK, ICR.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
we need a fact checker. We need a graffiti fact checker to come on here. And
this was like, dude,
we're gonna get in fucking trouble with this shit.
Oh my god. So my parents were out of town.
Yeah.
My house was destroyed. There was a shooting at my house.
That's crazy.
My old friends now wanted to kill me.
Right. Because they thought you set them up, of course.
Something like that.
It definitely looks that way.
And then ICR, someone from ICR got shot in the foot. So my parents come home from vacation. I clean the house.
They're like, we're in the fucking suburbs. We're trying not to see this shit.
So I didn't know what to do. So all I could do was just leave the front page news just on the table for my parents.
That's how you broke it to them.
I didn't have any other way. So.
He's broken all fucking rules and codes and size measurements and everything. That guy, he's done the unthinkable, you know, and the unexplainable. The dude, well, first of all, that fucking roller was insane. That thing in the LA River. Right. That was just, there's no words to describe that.
Have the vision, right?
The fucking vision, the drive, it just got so much, that takes a lot of muscle. And he ain't even love.
And he's a genuine person. And not only that, who can fuck with him? Really? Like, who the fuck can fuck with that dude?
Right.
You know, like, he's fucking, he was under me, not me as a wing, but underneath my fucking, he was like some toy at first, you know? But, dude, he snapped it up once, met up with Bless, and it was over, you know?
Dude's a beast. He's got a drive like no other. I mean, that guy has like talent for days, dude.
Right. He's such a special guy with his like vision and his ideas and what he wants to execute. And he's able to pull it off, unlike most people. He can just make it happen by like a little power.
There's like a formula in his brain, I think. You know what I mean? You know what he has. It just some turn the wheels are already going like this before he sees shit that you're just, you go to a wall, for example, you're just worried that fucking, you have to sketch and this.
Have a very close relationship.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yep.
exciting stuff.
Exciting. No hugs.
Exactly. So how'd you get started with all this, man? What was the
fuck? Skating, skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yep. Skating.
You're from Thousand Oaks, yeah?
Well, I grew up in Glendale.
Okay.
And then end of 6th grade moved to Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
So I still had my connection to Glendale, which was then my old world. And
so you were skating kind of at that point.
And then Thousand Oaks had a pretty strong little skate scene. And the guys that I originally skated with out there also got into graffiti a little bit ahead of me, which was Bless and Crises and these other guys. So
yeah.
And they were from AWR in LA, so they had a connection all the way back. So there was already some cool little like microscopic little things going on out there that we held on to.
Yeah.
And skating kind of led us through it.
What was it? So there's like different kind of skate scenes, right? Like, you know, there's like the punk rock skaters.
Well,
and the
everyone skated.
hip-hop skaters. And
So there was no difference. If you skated, everyone was welcome.
Yeah.
There was no like, really, I mean, we had friends that were cliques, but we didn't, you know, I remember just being in parking lots and all sorts of different shapes and sizes would show up and skate together. Wouldn't even say hi to each other, but we'd just skate together, you know. And I miss those days. Those were fun, you know, wholesome era, you know. I mean, we always felt a little scared because there were always people like screaming at us or chasing us away or trying to beat us up, that kind of thing.
Skateboarding was illegal at the time.
Yeah,
right?
and then that's when the gang thing kind of hit, you know, even in the suburbs. But because I had a way back to L.A. through Glendale, I still had a connection to my old friends, which primarily kind of the funnel to all of them would be my buddy Trigger, who's rest in peace. And his circle of friends were my friends growing up early in Glendale.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was the one who brought him in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's.
So I knew all the circles.
That's
you know?
crazy. My history with him doesn't go back that far. I don't remember him until as of recently. Not recently, like a year, but like.
Bullets fly on a busy local street, and a popular tattoo artist is shot dead. Tonight, friends and family mourn the man they say was always the most entertaining person in the room. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand is live in North Hollywood with the latest on the investigation. Jory?
Well, they're just now getting ready to reopen this crime scene on Laurel Canyon Boulevard near the intersection of Victory Boulevard, which this afternoon erupted in gunfire. Now, police have not identified the victim of this shooting, but friends here tonight confirm it, and social media lit up with condolences with the news that Triggs was dead. The artist known as Triggs had an appearance that can be jarring. Tattoos covered nearly his entire face and head, but his friends say you shouldn't let his appearance fool you.
You know what? Triggs is a real nice guy. It's that simple. He's a very nice guy. His father loves his family.
A little before 6 tonight, police say Triggs got into some kind of altercation with another man.
During the altercation, we have a victim that sustained a gunshot wound to the torso.
Came to the bank. To Wells Fargo, and I heard the gunshots.
How many gunshots did you hear?
About four shots.
The unnamed suspect took off, leaving Triggs to die on this North Hollywood sidewalk, just feet from a tattoo parlor where friends and family gathered tonight. Triggs was a famed tattoo artist, but he was also an actor and a model, his unique appearance fitting right in music videos. He was also a longtime graffiti artist who spent time in prison for painting his art all over the Southland. But he was also a part of an exclusive worldwide group of artists known as Seventh Letter.
You got some tips? I'm like, yeah, we got tips. What do you need? Okay. Oh, you write? He goes, yeah, what do you write? He goes, Chaka. I'm like, double take, like, what? He goes,
What?
yeah, Chaka. I go, nah, man, let me see. Hit my book real quick. And he like start writing, and I was like, oh, shit. And he used to come to the store after that all the time and just hang out, which was kind of cool. Those were the days.
So I was young during during that era. So my era with my buddies was like the 90s, like 94. It was already all out. You know, 95 we were a fucking bunch of psychopaths running around, pack of wolves, just creating as much public damage as possible.
Yeah,
you know, we were good at it too.
Yeah,
you know, like really efficient at it. I look back at those days and go, wow, we were out of fucking control. Like,
what do you mean?
Just life-wise, you know, at a certain, like, because there was a bunch of us with the same purpose. There was a whole movement of people with the same purpose. So to look at something of danger, and it's like that feeling before your first fight. You know, you might get hurt and you get that nervous feeling, but you know if you don't fight, you're a bitch. And if you don't do it, everyone's going to fucking destroy you, and you don't become the man you want to be. So all those, like, prideful feelings times 10 to be like, okay, I'm going to steal this paint. I'm going to climb out onto the freeway bridge. I'm going to hide from helicopters, and I'm going to get this fucking piece done regardless of the circumstances. You know, by the 50th, 60th, 80th, 120th time, you've trained yourself a certain way. Ideologically, testosterone-wise, comfort levels, controlling nervousness, the thoughts, the pre-thoughts, the afterthoughts, the addiction that comes with all this. is really complex, pressurized situation. So if we were robbing banks or we were gangbanging or we were like hurting people, we would be the worst of the worst.
Sure.
You know, even though I got a nice smile, like we were pretty fucking, I believe we were a sociopath at that point. Absolutely.
Diabolical.
Yeah, because we were like, nothing's going to stop us, including the law, including our own families.
Well, you
know?
you said something earlier about, you know, that you support vandalism, right? Like you're in favor of that.
Well, I don't support it like out anymore.
Sure. So I want to talk about the art a little bit, but go back a little bit to you're talking about the importance of crews, right? And you know, this chain of command and why is that important?
I mean, that was just a reflection of Los Angeles
Yeah.
and urban American environments. When you go to Europe, you know, everyone had crews, but everybody kind of operated on a softer spoken point of view. Right. I think because in LA during that time frame, gangs were so prevalent, we all kind of cross-pollinated. And so there were certain rules and certain codes that kind of crossed over.
Right.
A lot of that also triple crossed over from jail culture.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a certain way you had to present yourself on the street or with other people, other guys.
Sure.
Just out of pure bravado, who type of dude are you, and can you hold your own? You know, it's all bullshit, but it's how men operate. You know, I mean, it's very typical of all men's societies.
That was one of the first things that got me excited about graffiti. I had to go to a party and people would be like, "What you write?" The first time someone said to me, I'm like, "What you talking about, man? What do you mean, what do I write?" You know what I mean? And I was like, but I got used to that real quick. You know what I mean? It's like it's instead of where you from, what you write. You know, it's pretty thick, pretty quick. You know what I mean? But I'm a tagger and they're gangs, so definitely urban landscape piece to the puzzle of why it kind of went down that
that's
way.
Americana at its finest. You know what I'm saying? Like just dudes,
and especially in LA,
packs,
you got so many different neighborhoods, right? And all these different writers are.
I mean, look where we are right
all
now.
these different neighborhoods.
We're in Culver City. Like,
right around the corner.
I see a totally different Culver City than.
But it's like all these different dudes in different neighborhoods start doing graffiti instead of gangs, and some gang members are doing graffiti. It's really pollinated and cross-pollinated. So in graffiti, having some sort of crew to back you up when you got in trouble. So,
you couldn't be alone.
Yeah,
you couldn't be alone.
And then two, just help you kind of navigate your way through the politics involved in the shit was helpful too, because there's some powerful people in the graffiti community in Los Angeles. Like we're probably by far the roughest fucking graffiti hood in North America for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, New York's got their thing, but as far as graffiti, I don't think it's anywhere near what we were going through in the early 90s.
And that had more to do with gang politics, kind of mingling in. I mean, it even got as crazy as all the way in the suburbs. In Thousand Oaks, I had a drive-by on my house that made the front page news. You know, I mean, it was a part of the culture. It was a part of all guys getting together, getting wasted, and proving themselves. It's a very militant mindset, you know, like how to prove yourself as a young man.
And then, you know, now you just meet some dude who wants to like be down. You're like, I don't know you.
We're talking about
like,
fucking diaper genies and shit.
Yeah, like I don't want to talk to you. Like there's nothing here for us.
Well, no, I'm not really like that type of person.
Good,
you know,
I am, but
I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Cool.
I'm totally open. I'm not the type of person to, and it depends on my mood, of course. But like most of the time, I'm like, hey, what up? You know, how's it going? You know, I actually will seek conversations sometimes, especially. I'll jump in on conversations, you know, and that's how I've met a lot of people is just jumping in the middle of conversations. Especially if I hear they're talking about art, I'll just go, hey, how's it going? You know, I don't have a problem doing that, you know.
No, but that's definitely an interesting point, though, Josh, you bring up. There was a point in my life where I didn't really want to talk to people because I was like, I can only do so much in my day and I can only mess with so many people.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you're going through, I know enough. I don't even want to know.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I got a band, I got a club, I got a record, I got a this, and I make T-shirts and just like, all right, bro, I got you. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk later.
I mean, I'd rather deal with that than the dude that's like pushing the stroller around and he's working his 9 to 5 and he's like, I got to get over to Home Depot to
right. But
whatever.
there is something in them that gives us strength, which is like because some of these guys they have the ability to just keep pushing forward.
Right.
For me, everything is so fucking emotional and overwhelming all the goddamn time. It's like, Jesus. Yeah, exactly. And I'm an only child, and I'm a fucking Gemini, and I have 2 names.
Yeah, but that
and,
goes back
know,
to the support
I'm
system.
on fire, you know what I'm saying? 24/7, you know what I'm saying?
It goes back to the support system, and it goes back to having a group of people that are achieving accomplishments as a group versus individuals.
Well, I think that's the success of a lot of our story is that we've always tried to remain honest with each other as friends, and you know, Casey held it together for many years, trying to keep the boat moving forward and teaching us new tools. Like I remember they were, him and Crush were the first to ever use a computer and vectorize and build files out in Illustrator.
Yeah.
I mean, these are way ahead curve, things, and how to apply your art to a different sense and just to expand your mind and expand your abilities. I think Casey's very vital in that role.
Yeah.
I think, and he's always been very even keeled on how to keep us, in a good headspace, because there's been a lot of shit, a lot of emotional, crazy shit that's gone down. That we all kind of carry as a badge too, and the average person is really hard to relate to with that, because it's like I feel like I've been through war half the time. So it's like talk to the average dude and he's worried about some bullshit, and I'm like, dude, you have no idea what the fuck I've been through.
A lot of dudes don't. We used to go to parties, and not only do we have to worry about ourselves, but we got to worry about other people. And it's like, I can remember back in the day, there was a certain point where we couldn't go anywhere where a problem did not surface itself. And when I talk to you about the problems that we went through, I'm talking about real fucking problems, not like, dude, you parked in my spot at fucking PTA meeting, or your wife didn't fucking bring donuts this weekend to the fucking PTA meeting. It's like, I'm talking about like real shit, like your boy stabbed my boy last weekend at a party, and we got to fucking go outside and talk about this shit right now. Like, those were our every fucking other day kind of problems. Or my boy just got arrested over here yesterday, and we had to bail him out. Like it was, we were high stepping through shit for a while, and it was,
and that was a product of our environment here, which was Southern California, which is
graffiti artist known as Saber. He's the man behind an artwork we'll show you momentarily, which was a finalist in the healthcare reform video challenge for the Obama administration. It was sponsored by the president's grassroots organization. There you can see it's based on the flag. And because it was for Obama and because it was based on the flag, conservative groups were outraged by the nature of this art. Now, listen to Saber's reasons for using the flag, and California graffiti artist Saber to tell us more about his message, not to mention your own battles with the healthcare system. I look at that, and it's as if you were using the American flag, I guess, as a metaphor for America. That way you were saying this is the healthcare debate happening in America over this painting, or at least that was my interpretation of it. What was it that's the most offensive to those who were offended by it?
I think the most offensive thing was actually using the term graffiti and using a medium-base spray paint. But in reality, it really was just a piece of artwork created to express the way I was feeling about some of the things I'm going through. And I want to say, clear, I would not ever desecrate the flag. I would not ever burn a flag. I would never write on a flag. So to be accused of such things was really offensive to myself, because I feel I am an American, and it's strong for me to stand up, and I do believe in the First Amendment. So for all the people that went a little crazy over this, obviously you need to, get your head right, because it wasn't about the flag, it wasn't about anything but my own experience, through this situation, and having epilepsy.
And tell us about what experience.
Healthcare.
What experience are you referencing? What personal experience are you referencing when you say that?
Well, I guess my experience would be, I'm somebody who is a perfect example of somebody who's been spit and grinded out in the gears of this system. This system is not functioning in a way that can deal with the major portion of the population. If you don't have health care, then health insurance, you're basically done. And, my analogy is, basically, not even an analogy. I take you to County Hospital, Los Angeles at 2 a.m., and you're going to see some things that you're not going to be happy about. And it's real easy for those who have health insurance and have a great health care to be offended by somebody like me, because they feel that their opportunity is being chiseled at. But the reality is there's sick people out there, and we need health care now. And it doesn't matter what bill it is. It doesn't matter how important these little aspects are. It's just about breaking the foundation and allowing this thing to move forward, because it's going to take time to make this work. So everybody trying to get this hit them out of the park kind of like bill, that's not going to appease anybody. Really, you have to allow this to grow and allow this to become something that can form and change into something more efficient for everybody. But if you don't allow it to grow, you can't go anywhere. And we're, decades in the making at this point. And there's people like me who are great artists who are willing to express themselves. So, there's a lot more people out there just like me.
Yeah, no question.
Extinguisher test. I've done at least 10 of them.
No.
I have the last one caught on fire in Miami. I did one in Miami on this tent, and then we discovered the secret fucking multi-million-dollar speedboat that somebody spray painted. Eat the Rich. So I was like, this is a perfect spot to hit. So I hit
A speedboat?
No, the tent that was one of the art fairs that was left behind.
Oh yeah.
That someone was stashing a speedboat.
Oh, okay.
So, and there was needles everywhere. It was a nice fucking speedboat, and fucking. So I hit that, and fucking 3 weeks later, somebody lit the speedboat on fire.
No shit.
And so it made the news.
You're a fucking maniac. That's the thing. Like once you get to a certain level of graffiti, you can like never quit.
I have issues, and this is how I deal with my issues: is trying to be productive,
right,
as a citizen. I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
There are ethics behind this.
Right.
I choose to do things that I know aren't going to necessarily hurt anybody, that I know are going to get buffed immediately.
Right.
And who gives a fuck? I need to do goddamn something. And if I don't, I'm going to go fucking crazy. I'm going to lose my mind if I don't do this shit.
Right.
I am going to, and they come in waves. So if I don't do these things, then I get sick.
Right.
I get really sick if I don't do these things.
If you don't have this outlet.
If I don't have these outlets, I become a very sick human being in the sense of the amount of self-doubt, the amount of negativity, the amount of disillusion of what life could truly be just by just letting go and being happy.
Right.
If I don't bust that fucking nut.
Right.
If I don't do it, and I'm not saying sexually, as a metaphor.
Yeah.
I have to fucking do it. Now,
It's
making
like-
art
it's-
to me is practice. So
it's
that's
compulsive, huh?
It's beyond compulsive. It's if I don't do it, I'll become unwell at
like
this
you're,
point.
Like you're, is it because you'll hyper focus on it and you can't get out of your head? It'll make you feel crazy if you don't get it off?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
But it's about my own therapy, and it's about my engaging my own needs. And it just so happens that my needs are spraying a gang of fucking paint on ugly shit. And I don't know why, but it makes me happy.
Right.
Like nothing else. Like
Right.
I want to lick the wall or something. Like I come home feeling like an accomplished human being.
Right.
Like
And
I actually did something.
Nothing else does that for you.
I'm searching for those, and this is why I've been a problem.
Like doing a big painting it's not the same. It's not the same. Huh?
And it'll never be the same.
It'll never be the same.
And the only thing the painting gives me is the practice of meditation when I do it.
You've tasted too much blood. That's the problem.
I've tasted too much blood.
Yeah. That's the problem with graffiti artists. Once you taste, when you really get the taste of blood, you just never can stop.
Well, no, and two, it's also the act. So it's like in the sense that I could have a very, I could do a like repackaged, rebranded me,
right.
Yo, this is the new Saber.
Right.
And I could easily do that.
Yeah.
I have all this access, fan base,
Yeah.
knowledge, all this shit, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is how if I feel right with myself.
Right.
And if I don't do these things, if I don't do these practices, then I'm going to become potentially a bad person. And it's not because I want to be bad, but it's because I'm so dysfunctional.
Right.
Because I haven't dealt with all the shit that's necessary.
Have you
know
ever
what I'm
done
saying?
any like long-term psychotherapy, stuff like that?
And a few times I did therapy, they called the police on me.
What do you say?
So I said, motherfucker, now I want to beat your fucking ass. And now I'm all stressed the fuck out because you're threatening to fucking call the police on me.
You shrieked to call the
fuck
cops?
your
on you?
ass, motherfucker. I'll choke you the fuck out. Dude, I was so mad at this fool. I said, are you serious? I can't even be honest with you, you piece of shit. And I'm
No
not
way.
even talking about some nasty shit. I was like, fuck you.
That's a fucking betrayal of the.
Yeah, I
of
wanted
the
to choke him
patient-
out. I wanted to choke my therapist
patient-client
out. I'm going to
sanctity.
choke my fucking therapist out, dude. I'm seriously, I was going to choke his ass out. I was
Whoa.
really angry, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
But
why do you want to call the cops on you?
it was so stupid too. I told him I smoked weed.
What the fuck? Are you
And he
shitting
said,
me?
he said, I know you do more drugs than that. And I said, why? And he said, because you say you have all these seizures. And I said, and everybody always accused me of being a meth head. So like even my house was raided recent, not that recent, but maybe 2 years ago. Because
Really?
they accused me for child endangerment because they said I was smoking meth with my kids.
What?
Yeah. I was like, really? Where'd that come from?
Whoa.
They showed with guns blazing, everything.
Who the fuck
took us all out in the fucking street?
Search the house.
Searched the house. We had to, me and old lady had to piss test.
What?
I was like, I even told them, I said, I smoked meth once when I was in high school. It was the best night of my life. I fucked this girl all night. It was the greatest night of my fucking life. I tried it again, and it was the worst night of my fucking life. I've cut everybody out I've ever known meth in my fucking life. And they were like, no, you're smoking meth. We know it.
I mean, yeah, you definitely could give off some meth vibes.
Well,
if
yeah,
someone
it's
doesn't know
with
you.
the seizures,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the problem. I was having so many seizures at that point
Yeah.
that just one doctor didn't like me and was just like, fuck you, for some reason. And,
Again, I have
know?
to factor in, I got to say this, and I don't believe in this shit, but I got to say, maybe the worst run in luck in human history. Like, to have a shrink try to call the cops on you because you smoke. I told my shrink I smoked crack. Like, I could tell her I'm freshly like beat someone to smoke crack. And she'd be like, well, let's
I was
talk
just
about it.
masturbating on the freeway. And they were like, okay, that's okay.
She would talk
You
me
shouldn't
through
do that
it. She would
anymore.
work through it with me. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I was mad.
Then people thinking that you're on meth when you have a seizure and you have a physical condition and calling fucking child protective on you is like fucking
I've woken
nuts.
up in the ER naked I actually woke up naked in the ER last week and they pounded me with fucking morphine. Oh my God, they gave me, holy shit.
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With Chews by Hims, you can regain your hair and your confidence. Our chews are powered by clinically proven ingredients like minoxidil and finasteride, so you can grow thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months. Your treatment is 100% personalized to your hair goals and comes at an affordable price that works for your budget, so you can step out with full confidence. Hats off to hair growth with treatment that works for you. Start today at hims.com.
Holy shit. And it's because I came up clean, so they're like, "Of course he's clean. He fucking pound him, send him home." And
Wait.
I had no clothes on because I had a seizure in the fucking shower, and so the ambulance had to get me. And I woke up in the ER. This is like, look, I still have the IV. This was a bad IV. They couldn't get me, and so I wake up in the ER, and I'm like straight, like, "What's up, guys?" Like straight naked. Like, it's a little cold in here. Like, dude, I woke up in county 3 different times in the hallway, butt naked. Balls hanging out, strapped too, like to the fucking, like actually strapped to the gurney with my balls to the wind. Numerous times, bro. I just
in county.
Just county. I have a long relationship with county, dude. They're the ones who treat me. They actually got me all this fucking shit. But in Pasadena, I go to Huntington. They always end up there. But,
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, because of the nature of your violent seizures, right? You could be having a conversation with me and then time travel to being in a hospital. Like, you don't even
Yes.
remember anything.
Gone.
So right now you could fish out.
Yes.
And then you're gonna wake up in the hospital.
Yes.
If you did have a seizure right now, do I put that little baby bat in your mouth? Is
That's
that
the
real or is
best
that
thing.
bullshit?
No. That's bullshit.
You're not gonna bite your tongue off.
No, I might bite my tongue. I will bite the shit out of my mouth, but I won't bite it off.
But I put something
But
in
it
your
might
mouth?
bite your finger off.
Would
No.
I put a blanket in there or something? Or?
No, nothing. No,
Nothing,
you just
let you-
just leave you on your side so you don't choke on your vomit.
Jesus Christ.
That's the best thing. Yeah. And my problem with my condition is the nature of my condition. I have these really severe seizures in my sleep early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I've only had a few seizures while I was awake. Well, I've had more than a few, but I had a set of seizures last month, and this is a new one, where I had a seizure, woke up, taking a shit. So I had a muddy ass. My poor old lady had to pick my ass up with a muddy ass on the toilet after having a seizure.
Oh, you had a seizure while you're taking a shit?
While I was taking a shit.
Oh,
so she
no.
gets me to the bed, gets me my meds, lets me sleep, watches me. I have another seizure. I wake up, but I had a seizure somewhere in my brain where you bust a nut. So I
bonus seizure.
busted a huge nut having a seizure. So I woke up with my whole front gummed the fuck up, my back muddy the fuck up. I got a muddy ass. I have a fucking a perpetual hard on that's completely gummed the fuck up. I don't know where I am, and I'm like, and she's just like petting my head, going like, slowly come back. I was like, what the fuck happened? She's like, you were standing here, you had a seizure, and you just busted this giant nut. Which I thought was fabulous. I was
Kind of
like,
amazing, but you didn't get to feel it. You just busted it.
No, I don't remember. I just woke up.
Just like, ugh,
gummy as fuck. So that was a bad one. I had a seizure in front of the Gaudi Cathedral once with David Cho.
Yeah.
I woke up there. I thought I time traveled.
Right.
And I got lost through Barcelona by myself, covered in piss.
Why? You just took off after that? After the seizure?
Yeah, I refused help, I guess. And they were wrestling me in the street, and I woke up in front of the Gaudi Cathedral, and I thought it fucking time warped me.
Whoa, that's
because I was like, look at this thing. What is this thing? I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
The worst place in the world for Saber to wake up is the Gaudi Cathedral.
Oh my god!
Because you're already so gothic, anyways, and then you're like, you wake up, you're like, oh, I finally transcended. I'm past the ninth gate.
I woke up, and it was because I just got off the plane, and it was late in the morning. It was super late in the morning.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I was having seizures at that point, and so I thought I was hungry. Dave was at the spot going to sleep. Went to go get some food. And then I had a seizure in the street, and it was right near there. And then I woke up in front of it, and then I was like, "Where the fuck am I?" Dude? Like, this is awesome. I was like, "This is the fucking Gaudi Cathedral."
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I had a seizure in Bangkok. I thought I woke up in a UFO because these little dudes in these cool jackets kept poking me with these big ass needles, dude. And I was like, "Where the fuck am I?" And it was this chrome circle room that was this chromed out room. And I was the only one in there. And so I was like this special dude in this like UFO. And these little dudes chasing me around with these cool blazers. I'm like, where the fuck am I?
So let me just, if you have seizures all the time, is there one place you go to more often than others? Like, or is it like, because like everyone's gonna do something different, or they all do the same thing? They just strap you down, give you morphine. Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, it depends. Usually, what they have to do is stabilize you with the drug that they usually stabilize me with is Ativan.
Oh yeah.
which just knocks your ass.
You're on some heavy opiates with that
I'm
shit.
on
man.
a lot of drugs every day.
Whoa.
I'm on 6 tranquilizers a day.
How do you keep that in control without like
learning.
abusing it? You're
No,
learning.
I don't abuse it. The drugs I'm on, I don't like at all.
Yeah,
They
you don't
suck.
like it.
They're-
But you like
I don't
weed so
want 'em.
much.
That's how I deal with it.
Right, you smoke a gang.
I
of
smoke
weed.
a gang of motherfucking weed, bro. I smoke bong rips and tobacco all fucking day.
You
as
do
much
tobacco
as I
bong
can.
rips.
I did
What is
weed
it?
and tobacco, only indica. And this is very important for people. They should know that sativas and hybrids causes seizures.
Okay.
And people don't realize that. So there was a long time where I was smoking Trainwreck and fucking fishing out and not realizing that my
And you've-
condition was
You've been a
completely
stoner forever too. Huh?
long fucking time.
Forever. You've been heavy
Since
into
Crises
weed.
got me high at
Oh my
805,
God,
dude, in like
Crises.
9th grade.
Where's Crises at?
I heard he turned schizophrenic
He's been schizo for a long time.
and
yeah.
showed up at Risky's house with no shoes on or some shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
poor
A lot
guy.
of it's interesting.
A lot of people went crazy.
A lot of
people went
writers went. A
schizophrenic.
lot of writers had schizophrenia, which maybe who knows what that
And
is.
to be honest with you, right now with some real shit, what I'm dealing with, my mom went full blown schizophrenia
No
this
way.
last 4 months.
Oh no.
And she's lost everything, and now is completely not there, and it's completely gone, and is in a home that costs $4,000 a month, and I need to hustle. So all you motherfuckers out there, no, I'm not gonna live that much longer, you assholes. So you better start cashing in on my shit now, you
Yeah,
fucking
get in on the
clown
ground.
ass.
Get in on the ground floor of Sabre, you guys.
Because it's gonna happen fast. So, but yeah, that's been a tough one, dude. That's been a tough one.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been really
That's
hard.
tough.
Just this morning, I was all morning dealing with it.
Fuck, that's terrible.
All last week dealing with it.
Watching your parents get old is hard, man.
One day she called me. She thought I was in her house, that I turned to stone meditating,
Oh,
and
that
that I
could
wouldn't
happen.
move, and that she put the phone on the chair and started talking to me and trying to feed me, and she
Whoa.
thought I wouldn't leave, and that I would turn to stone.
She thought you were the chair.
Yeah, and then the lamp had no head, so the head there was this headless person that wouldn't leave her house for like 3 weeks. So
Oh,
that
no.
got pretty nasty.
Your dad's not around?
Yeah, he got killed by a drunk driver.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, he got ran the fuck over by a drunk driver. And that was it. That was the end.
When
of
was that?
Fuck, I don't even remember now. Fuck, 10 years ago.
Fuck.
Yeah, he moved to North Carolina, found a new wife,
Right.
which would be like the Nazi version of me as the son.
Right.
This dude wanted to murder my ass, dude, straight the fuck
Oh,
up.
your
This other
stepbrother?
dude, I don't even know this dude. I don't even remember his name. And they were only together for like 3 weeks, and then he got ran over.
No fucking.
That was it. And this fool was like, "Fuck you! I got ARs, and I clean these ARs. You piece of shit. Fuck you, fuck your ass."
Why do you hate you?
Because we went there to go get what was left of my dad's shit, me and my half sister, and because he had some of our family's things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and he was not happy, and he was like, "Fuck y'all, murder your ass, dude. If I had the chance right now, fuck your life."
Why?
He was just so mad that we came to his house and just took shit, and I was.
He didn't want you to take your dad's shit back.
Well, I don't really know what was going on, so I don't know what happened. I just took one. I got one painting. That was it. So all I got was one thing.
Your dad was an artist too.
Yeah, and my grandfather was too. He was I guess, an accomplished illustrator at some point.
It's like you're
Euclid Shook.
Euclid Shook.
My mom was one of the first, ladies at Art Center early on.
I think if you have an artistic inclination, you're fucked because it's because you kind of have to do it. Like if you're driven in that way, you kind of have to be an artist. Like no artist is going to stop and be like, I'm going to fucking join the IRS. Like you have to become an artist, right? And you have to pursue it to some length.
If you
and it's
join the
not
IRS
always-
and you become a deviant and you habitually masturbate in the office, it's because you didn't engage yourself wanting to be an artist.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you don't scratch that itch, you go crazy. Yeah, and if you're so let's say you're scratching the itch and you're gonna be an artist. Well, the reality is, it doesn't mean you're
It's
gonna
hard.
succeed in any way. There's no guarantees. I gotta use the restroom real quick. One second.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Okay, a big chapter for myself is Echo Park. Echo Park is
Jesus
important.
Christ!
I lived in Echo Park for 10 years.
Oh, I forgot about that. You lived in Echo Park when it was still Echo Park.
And there were blocks on my house.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So then I had to leave Echo Park, and that was.
So what happened? Someone wrong with the locals, or?
Yeah, I stabbed some kid, and then trying to save this other kid's life.
Yeah.
This is the story of the Lifeline program. It all started in 1985.
Lifeline made sure low-income families could afford to stay connected to the world.
Then came the 2000s, and the smartphone era was about to begin. By 2016, Lifeline expanded to the internet era.
Today, Lifeline keeps millions connected for work, school,
even for memes.
This is more than a program. It's the story of how America stayed connected. Unity Wireless, free phone service, real connection.
In the summertime, driving up the west coast, me and my Valentine, we ain't got no place to go, nothing ahead but the open road.
Life.
Yeah.
And then everyone knows who I am, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I had to leave.
Oh, they all knew you were Saber.
Yeah. So I had to leave immediately.
Right.
So but I was there for 10 years.
Yeah. You were by the lake?
Right near the lake. I was right behind the Bank of America. And a funny story, fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers, Keaton, what's his name?
Kiedis.
Anthony
Kiedis. Yeah.
Kiedis doing the taxi jump up in the alley, in the taxi, in the video.
Yeah.
In that one song. I was right there, and they were doing it. The production was right there. That was where I lived. So I came outside, and then they pulled the trash can out because I had to move the trash can, and production put sushi on the trash can. And then here's Anthony pulls up, and his homie was one of Finn's homies. So he was like, "What's up, Saber?" And I'm like, "Whoa, how do you know me?" And he's like, "I'm friends with Finn." I'm like, "No shit." And then Anthony was like, "Yo, I know Mirror," or some weird shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, "Really? Okay, what's up?" And he's like, "I gotta take a piss." I'm like, "Okay." So he's like, "Where can I take a piss?" I was like, "Use my apartment." So we ran up real quick to see we had to take a leak during that whole shoot, like during the taxi and everything. And then he saw the Belmont painting. And then as he like ran to go to my bathroom, I have the painting I did of Belmont. And then so he was like, "Oh shit, that's Belmont Tunnels." And then he ran out. And it was funny.
That's
So
hard.
This fool took a piss.
What
This fool
video
took
is
a
that?
piss in my house. He's jumping in the taxi.
Under the bridge downtown.
One of
I
those goddamn
saw a
songs.
Saber piece.
I don't know which one,
Dude.
but he was short.
Okay. All celebrities are short, apparently.
I recall that.
So let's talk. So yeah, the Echo Park years. I remember hearing about that. I mean, listen. The truth is, same as with GK. I could talk to you for 6 hours about.
Yeah.
Like
Just the madness.
we're just scratching the surface.
We're not even talking about anything.
We haven't even talked about anything. We haven't even actually talked.
We haven't even talked about,
we
like-
talked about seizures for 45 minutes. Like we didn't even talk about like.
We could talk about art and like we could talk about
There's so many things.
process. We could talk about.
There's
We could
so
talk
many
about.
things. But we have a
marketing strategies. We could talk about.
well, just historically,
politics.
the history of LA graffiti, right? As a subject.
Yeah, anything we could talk about.
There's a million things, but we have a limited window tonight. And the thing is this: I want to talk to you before we slow down here. I want to talk to you about the LA River piece, which
LA
is like
River.
that's like your most famous piece of work,
Yeah.
right? By far.
Yeah.
And you can see, you used to be able to see it from approach from LAX, right?
Yes, and it was one of the first pieces that of art that was seen from Google Earth.
The first piece of
So
art.
it was, I didn't know. I heard of Google Earth. I was like, "Can you see it from Google Earth?" And so I went in there and I was like, "Oh shit!" And zoomed in. It was like Google Earth, yeah.
You're like, "Oh, this is I am real." I'm
so
on
then I
Google
could create
Earth.
the story and be like, "Hey, I'm the first to ever make a piece
Right.
of art that would connect to the Google Earth." It's sort of bullshit, but it was my neighbor's computer, but I still did it.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, again, like another in a long history and career of like just gut-wrenchingly hard projects that you somehow muscled through.
Yeah.
I remember when you started painting it, I had a little Nissan Hardbody. It was my first
Okay.
vehicle. I remember I drove on the piece. I mean, I drove into
No
LA.
shit.
I drove
Were
on
you
the
with
LA River.
Chunk?
Huh?
Were you with Chunk at the time?
Might have been with Chunk. Yeah. That does check. I might have been with Chunk. And I remember you were there. You're like, come by, and I come and I'm like driving on the sketch or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm driving on this dude's piece. Like it's so fucking big.
Yeah.
And I know that piece took you a year to do, right? Tell us about the
A year. I guess I became obsessed with the LA River early on in the sense of its connection to LA and spending time down there at night. So I'd been in different locations many different times, and I always wanted to leave a mark in the LA River, knowing that it was important for me as LA, like just for my little thing. especially coming from Glendale and then leading to like, you know, that whole area towards that way. So I just loved the LA River. So then Fate did a big piece with Chunk, but Fate that used the roller and used the gravity. And we were like, oh shit, you could spread it as opposed to paint it. And
Spread it.
You could spread it. And
What do you mean? Like just pour it down the
just
fucking
pour it
bank?
and spread it. And that way you're not like fucking so you
rolling
use the-
forever.
Rolling.
Yeah.
And then you can't go that high. There's no way to do a piece that's like 40 feet high.
Right.
Like that. That was 70 feet, 75 feet or something high.
Right.
So then I had the epiphany. It was like, oh shit, you could roller. You got the little roller. You got the big roller. You got everything. You could do fades. You could do fucking cuts. You could do highlights. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Why haven't we done this yet?
Right.
I realized then once you started, like why like people didn't do it. And you know, Albert was the first to do it.
Right.
You know, he was the first to do it. So I was like, well, I want to be the first to do like a wild style.
Right.
You know, using all these techniques. And so I didn't know what I was in for. I was doing it from Thousand Oaks. So I would drive in my car from Thousand Oaks all the way deep into the LA River. And then I would have to find different locations for different entry points. So I had, which was interesting, was I was always maintaining different holes and fences. So what I would do, I would just lurk around the vicinities and maintain holes with bolt cutters. And there are other ones you pop the rivets and the other ones so you can wiggle the ones, and you would know that one would be wiggled that you can use like as a door because you'd have a shirt attached to the razor wire on the top.
Right.
And then you just pop the rivets at the bottom.
Right.
And then that way you can use it as like a little door. Fucking one time Chunk and Phaeton chased me in the rivers. They drove down there.
Yeah.
And I ran from them and they knew I was running from them because they thought it was like fucking, you know, somebody trying to murder me and shit.
Right.
So I hopped the razor wire. I got all cut and shredded and I'm like hooked in the razor wire and they're fucking all pop out and start laughing at me in the fucking car. I'm like bloodied. I had this huge hole in my hand. I was like, dude, they were just laughing at me and just like, ha ha, we got you this time. Fucking, I had to learn how to steal really well.
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed to. Luckily, what I was stealing wasn't important to most people.
Yeah.
So if you steal 50 gallons of paint, most people aren't going to go missing.
No one thinks you're stealing 50 gallons of paint. Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to steal 50 gallons of paint.
Yeah.
When you're going about stealing 50 gallons of paint.
And how many gallons of paint did you? I know you quantified that at one point.
97 then, but then I had to go back. And there's a secret to that nobody else knows that I don't know if I should let go because he told me not to say it, but it was so long ago that it doesn't really matter. And since then, a lot of people don't know if I've actually spoken to Jay. Like me and Jay have like talked. Like,
oh, really?
You know, it's all good, dude. Like,
what's the secret?
Who helped me fix it?
No.
Somebody came here. Somebody came here.
Wait,
and was like, get off your ass, you motherfucker, and let's go fix this shit.
I thought
and
you were
you're
saying,
using oil base.
I thought you said JA helped you fix it. I was going to say.
No, but someone else. And
he's the one that got you to fix it?
Guys, this is big.
What? What is it? Tell me right now. The Smurfs are coming home to Paramount Plus.
Adding it to the calendar, Papa Smurf.
Thank you, Calendar Smurf. You can watch it with your papa.
Hit it, Papa.
Now that's what I call a banger. Your mama.
It's showtime!
And all your friends. You know, like Hefty Smurf, Clumsy Smurf, and Magic Smurf. What the Smurf? Sorry. Smurfs. Rated PG. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Got you to fix it?
He was like, let's go, and you're going to do it my way.
No
You're going
way.
to do it the way I tell you to do
Bleep
it.
Bleep it out. Bleep it out. We got to bleep it. Make sure you.
But
bleep
we
it.
don't know though. It might
No,
be
no,
good.
no, you always got to bleep it. Always.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry. You don't want to blow the spot up.
He might be happy that we brought it up.
So he made you come fix it.
So he showed up, and it had been a year, and so I was like really bummed, and life was really hard at the time. It was like 2008 or some shit, and I mean, God, the shit that was happening in my, So he just showed up.
Wait, hold on. People don't understand what happened here. We're getting ahead.
Okay,
let's talk about a year to finish it.
Okay, so this is a wild style piece,
right?
Painted almost the scale of a football field without being able to go backwards to look at the scale. Number one,
because you'd have to run.
Two,
you'd have to run in order. Think
and you can't run backwards because you fall in the river and you'll.
It's on a bank, a slanted bank, which is like 30-degree slant, right? I'd say roughly 30-degree slant bank, which is the size of a fucking football field. Okay, if you put trains next to it, it's 3 train lengths,
something like that.
3 train lengths.
And those are the big ones. Those are the metro.
3 metro train lengths long. Okay, 30-degree angle. 70 feet tall football field.
Something like that.
So in order, and when you're painting a piece, you walk up to the wall, you paint, and you step back and you look.
Step back.
You're going back and forth all day.
You can't look at this thing.
You can't look. So you have to just figure it out. Because if you were to look at it, you'd have to run down the whole bank, go across the fucking LA River, and go even further. You have to go outside the fence.
You can't cross the river.
Right. You can't
it's
cross
too slippery
the river.
because
It's full of moss, human shit,
it's super
dead babies,
slippery.
all that shit.
And the minute you go into it, you slide. And one time I tried to save a guy and he pulled me in.
Yeah.
And I got caught in the current for over a mile. I couldn't get out.
Are you serious?
Because it was too slippery and it wasn't even that high.
Again, another instance where your life, you've put your absolute physical life on the line so many times for this thing.
Yeah. It's like the blood of, but
so
the piece. So keep in mind, just to be able to scale it, meaning driving back from Thousand Oaks to the Hood, to East LA, to Boyle Heights, to then get through the razor wire on the opposite side of the meat factory that smelled like dead ass.
Yeah.
To then not get caught slipping by Boyle Heights, which at least 6 or 7 different times just to look at the piece to scale it, I got caught slipping by them and they were going to murder me right there.
Yeah.
So just to look at the piece, you can get killed.
Right.
Just to look at it.
And it could have looked like at some point it might have looked like gang blocks. Like,
well, yeah, and just to get the photo, I almost got my dad killed by Boyle Heights, and he got chased, and I had the car, and he was running, and it was fucking fabulous. And these dudes had fucking sticks, and they were chasing him.
Did you ever have a reckoning with them where they were like, "We like it"?
I've had with some youngsters, where they were
like,
"That was that." I've had quite a few youngsters be like, without that, that gave me something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It gave me something to be like, well, I could add color as opposed to just the blocks, or a lot of their older brothers that were my age and older would push that off to them.
Yeah.
And be like, you should try to go do that. Because they knew going and painting and don't gangbang. Because it's over. At that point, it's over.
Yeah.
And these are real hoods, and I'm a fucking visitor. I'm nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm a fucking privileged ass piece of shit.
Yeah.
Vandalizing their fucking hoods.
Right.
So they should catch me slipping.
Right.
I deserve to get caught slipping.
Right.
Because my parents then would have bailed me out of fucking jail like they did.
Right.
And my parents weren't gangbanging. So it's like.
Yeah, you're talking about kids that are literally growing up by the river, the fucking LA River.
Yeah, this is real shit.
It's like it's just dismal right there.
And I knew that I had to prove a point for myself in the sense of an adventure.
Yeah.
To be like, once I started, and I knew once I started, I had to finish it because everybody was watching me. The whole city was watching me.
Yeah.
So I had to fucking finish this thing. And God, I had to,
you blew out your shoulder,
blew out my knee.
You blew out your knee going up and down that slant.
Up and down and that.
I mean, the toil you put on your body working on a slant, like just your back alone. I mean, it's fucking mind-boggling.
And to the ground itself is not smooth. It's like fucking sand, really, really crazy sandpaper.
Yeah.
So if I would have to get flat paint, because it would dry a little faster, because anything that was glossy, the second your feet were wet, you would slide all the way fucking down. So there were a few times where I was at the top all by myself in the middle of nowhere, fucking lurkers in the distance, police helicopters, razor wire, and I'm by myself. And all of a sudden I'm painting and I just fucking slipped and I just slid all the way down the river and fucking just ate shit so many times. And I finally came to the conclusion that I had to paint flat patches
right.
of the paint. And then I could step on those and I would remember which colors were flat so that I could then walk on it when my feet were wet, because you couldn't avoid getting your feet wet.
Holy shit.
No matter what. So like I was like following the trail almost like a snail of which colors. Somehow then I remembered which
colors. It's like
colors
the most
were.
dangerous game of Twister ever.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt, and Snake from Karate Kid 3.
Snake.
From Karate Kid 3.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the one who came and dissed it. That's
Right.
J.A., one of the most prolific,
J.A.
maniacal motherfuckers there is.
J.A. is a legend.
So-
undoubtedly. Say what you want about the man.
Last
he's a
dude
legend.
I want to have fucking beef with is
Right.
this fucking guy.
And then the thing is, I remember when J.A. dissed it, and everyone's like, we're going to get him. I'm like, bro.
You can't, nobody
I'm all,
can
it's
do
J.A.
it.
This is his job.
Yeah.
This is what is you did the biggest piece in the world.
Yeah.
Well, you know what has to happen? J.A.'s got to diss it.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
That's what he
And
does.
everyone's like, we're gonna find him. I'm like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna find this dude. He's a fucking.
He's dangerous.
Yeah. You're not gonna find him.
He's a lot more dangerous than I ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's from a different generation too.
Different,
so.
yeah. Different generation.
But yeah, eventually, like years later, 20 years later. Later, longer.
A J.A. capture
You know.
piece. Somebody
Yeah.
from New York says, "Go, let's go fix it."
But this time we'll use oil base.
Use oil base.
Because knowing that the city was going to buff it.
When he captured piece, how much work did that? I mean, how much? How, did he just do throw ups over the whole thing? I don't remember.
He
what
did fill in throw ups over the entire piece.
So he had to take.
I think he smoked crack too. I think he got lit on melting some rocks and getting drunk, and then sat there all night and did throw
all
ups.
night. He had to be there all night. At least you know he had to work for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To cover that fucking monstrosity,
Yeah.
he had to work hard.
Yeah.
He must have in the dissing of your piece. There must have been a point where he goes, "God damn."
I lost so much sleep over all that bullshit.
Yeah, and
Oh my God.
then I remember GK said that, and I don't know if you remember this one, but he said that he showed up at an art show in drag.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, but
Yeah.
the stories are but
Yeah.
showed up there in drag.
Yeah.
And GK's like, that's J.A., but no one saw him.
Yeah.
The myth.
Yeah.
He's a mystery man.
He's
a man.
dangerous too.
Yeah.
He's like streetwise. He's dangerous.
Right,
He's
you know-
actually, because I've made friends with some of his friends.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of stories, and I'm like, oh shit.
You're not fucking with it.
I ain't fucking. Like,
Yeah.
You know, if I do, then it's. I mean,
The shotgun in the trunk and the fucking.
Yeah, all that shit. But
Yeah.
you know, for me, beef is serious. So as a grown man, a family man, somebody who's like legally
Hey,
disabled,
man, some of these
you want
beefs-
beef with me, bro? I'm gonna put a hole in you. That's it. I mean, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
There's no in between. So it's like, please, can we talk about this? I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm friends. We're all good.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way it is now. And you know, and
Some
if somebody
of these
still,
beefs don't die. Some
then
people
it's
never let
like,
go of beef, man.
then
It's-
I'm gonna
it's-
have to. Figure out everything
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you, and I really don't
Right.
want to.
You gotta do your research.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So
Well, those days are over, which is fabulous.
Of course.
you know.
I'd like to think so.
Those days are long gone.
So Jay caps a piece. You fix it.
I
How long
fix
does it
it.
take you to fix it? You have to redo the outline.
Redo
you got to
the
redo
outline.
the fill in. You got to.
No, I didn't redo the fill in.
You left the J's in there, but you outlined over
Redid
it.
the outline, and then I redid the cruise.
You redid the cruise.
And I stole this gold leaf paint, real gold paint.
Yeah.
I forgot where I stole it from, some weird paint store.
Yeah. I
And-
remember you were obsessed with gold leaf for a while.
Yeah, and it was this super toxic fucking gold leaf paint. And I
Right,
drenched
of
myself
course,
in this
if it's-
poison ass shit.
Right.
if
you're using it, it's gonna kill you, yeah.
And of course, it completely tarnished in like a month, and it didn't look like looking brown.
Right.
But the oil base, I think, on the outline was most important because I knew that it was going to get buffed with that watery ass paint.
Yeah.
And I knew that it would be nice that it will sit another 20 years
Right.
and start peeking through, especially if we did that, thick oil base. And so we used the Rusto,
Yeah.
and we just fucking just did the.
Did he do it with you?
Yeah, he was like, "We're doing it now. Get in the car,
He
get
did
the
it with
paint.
you. Holy shit.
Like get
That's
the
crazy.
paint."
That's a
He's
real
like,
one.
"Do it."
That's a real one.
He's like, "Pick me up at this time."
That's crazy.
He's like, "You're not going to disagree with me. We're going to do it this way.
That's amazing.
We're going to do the highlights. We're going to redo the outline, and then you come back and then you do whatever you're going to do."
That's amazing. That's I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, and then to do the 3Ds, I had to rig this system of like, I mean, it's not really a system. I just fucking tied this thing to the middle of it, a string, and then so all the 3Ds come to the middle. So it had a perspective.
Right.
So I would tie. I had this really long string, and then I would do a mist, so the string would leave that, and then I would use that as like the guide to like do the lines in the 3Ds the right way.
For the perspective. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I'd have like the
So
right-
now, if you drive past it, what can you see?
it's sort of peeking through a little bit.
You think it'll fade out one day and the oil will come through?
It'll
'Cause-
come
Coming back. Cedar said it was coming back.
Yeah.
Who did?
Cedar, when we had him on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back to life.
And
Well,
watch the city of Los Angeles at one point. Once
Yeah.
once my ass is long fucking gone.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna get a hard on.
They're gonna uncover it and be
And
like,
then
"This
they'll
is
be
a treasure."
like, they'll be like, we need
for
to
sure.
keep this,
Yeah,
you know, and be
for
like,
sure.
well, it's too late, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
When did you paint it and when was it fixed?
1997 is when I painted it, and then fuck, I don't really recall when we fixed it, but that might have been somewhere between 2007 and 2006 and 9. I don't know anymore.
So
Fuck.
over a long time span.
Yeah, it sat
was
for
up a
like
long
5, 6, 7. It sat for like 7 years, and then
And
it
you
got
got, a lot
dissed.
of you got a lot of attention, a lot of press
Yeah.
from that thing.
Yeah.
Newspaper articles, like it was
All
like
sorts of
it kind of helped launch
Yeah.
your career to a point, right?
Yeah.
As far as like a fine artist.
To a certain degree, yeah, because
certain
people were like, "How is that possible?" Once they
Right.
saw me in the photo,
Yeah.
which I knew my dad, I needed him to take the photo,
Right.
Because I put them through hell to do this shit. And my
Right,
dad,
right.
my parents were cool. My mom she's beyond obsessive compulsive, but my dad was cool.
Yeah.
He's like, "You just did what?" All right.
Yeah. At this point, they're like,
He
this-
couldn't,
Yeah.
dude. I one time at community service, this fucker, dude. The boss of the community service for buffing.
Yeah.
I scribed his whole fucking windshield. That fuck you, top to bottom, in front of my pops, and he couldn't even say it. He was just like. He could. It's like
You
400
scribed-
hours of community service.
You scribed the community service guy's window.
The boss dude, he's like, I know. He said, I know you're like oil. I know you're like oil. You're like oil. I know it. And he was this Indian dude. He was like from India, and he was like, I got you. I know it's you. I know it's you.
What
So
does
he
that
was-
mean? I know you like oil.
Oiler. He thought I was like. He was like. He thought I was like a
He
tagger.
thought you were oiler.
He thought I was like him or wanted to be like him.
Oh,
he was
oh,
obsessed with Oiler.
Oh, yeah.
This random weird dude, and like, so he fucking dissed me because he made us drive all the way and fucking sign the papers, this and that. He didn't show up. I was like, fuck this dude. So I scribed his car, his whole fucking car.
Did he know it was you?
He knew it was me, but he couldn't prove it. So he still had to sign the papers. But my dad was just looking at me like, you're such an asshole.
Yeah, he knew he lost control of you a long time ago.
Yeah, but that wasn't a good alternative than beating the guy. I mean, that was like really considered.